In the last pages of today's reading, Rousseau goes back to the questions about military strength and its connection to virtue. Those questions were the ones that occupied the end of the first part, and I think you can consider those questions on your own. People did pretty well when they were interpreting them in the first part. Rousseau brings up complicated questions of what is courage, of the kind that I think are still with us. And it's certainly the facts of the present day don't settle the argument in Rousseau's favor, but clearly they give us something to think about. Rousseau asks what kind of courage virtue produces, and what sort of courage is the most necessary for military strength. He opposes the kind of courage that is useful in the exact moment of danger and battle when you're running forward toward the enemy. Is that the only and the most important kind? Here in the left column of page 46, he wonders about the courage that it might take to march for weeks across a mountain range, across difficult terrain. What's the importance of that courage as compared to the kind of courage that you exercise in the brief moments of fighting? So you can consider Rousseau's arguments about that and see whether you agree with them. But I think we recognize the argument that the modern military presses on us. Clearly, scientific weapons have power that can't be matched by anything else that history has ever seen, and it gives a certain power. The destruction that can be brought out of the air from tens of thousands of kilometers away is something that is hard to oppose for any nation that isn't at the top of scientific expertise. But does that sophistication of weaponry go along with a diminishment of courage in other kinds of both the kind that's necessary in the moment of fighting and the kind that's necessary to persevere through long periods of hardship and deprivation? So we will continue this discussion in our on the forum in the Moodle classroom